Library of Heaven's Path. Chapter 36. Gourmet. There are many occupations in this world and gourmet is one of them. Gourmets are often born sensitive to taste, and their ability to discern flavors far exceeds ordinary humans. Their cultivation may not necessarily be high, but there are some hotels or taverns that would hire them at high salaries so as to ascertain the taste and effects of their ingredients. However, this occupation is one of the least esteemed ones and can only be considered one of the lower 9 paths. There are more than several thousands of occupations in the world. To better classify them, they are split into the upper 9 paths, middle 9 paths and lower 9 paths. Apothecary, blacksmith, formation master and similar jobs which brings about benefits to battle techniques and one's cultivation are considered as the conventional upper 9 paths. On the other hand, gourmet could only be considered as an unorthodox occupation, thus being classified under the lower 9 paths. Going by Shen Bai Ru's opinion, given how the young man is capable of pointing out the flaws in those dishes and wine, he had to be a gourmet. You can take it so. Zhang Xuan doesn't explain. The Library of Heaven's Path does more than reflecting one's cultivation. As long as he has tried a dish, its flaws would be reflected in the library. With this, it is a simple task for him to take care of a small manager Wu. Thank you for your help today. Seeing the other party admit to it, Shen Bai Ru thanks him. If it wasn't for this young man's ability to discern delicacies, it would be truly embarrassing for her today. It's nothing. Zhang Xuan waves his hand. You resolved the problem just a moment ago, so it can't be considered as my treat. I'll treat you again next time. Shen Bai Ru says. Treat me again. Zhang Xuan ponders over it and shakes his head. Better not. I still treasure my life. Eating with a beauty may be an enjoyable event, but he knows himself the best. Given his reputation, the other party might simply be speaking out of politeness despite being repulsed by the idea. Not only so, he would have to suffer from the envy of others. If so, he would have to come up with ideas to deal with her pursuers. However, there are still many things that he needs to do at the moment and he doesn't have the leisure for such matters. Just when she thought that Zhang Xuan could speak normally, she hears those words and feels a blockade in her chest again as the urge to go berserk surges through her. Many people had asked her out to eat, but she rejected them all. Yet, when she takes the initiative to invite him, she feels as though she is begging a stubborn elderly. Detestable. Alright, since we have already eaten, if there's nothing else, I'll be making a move first. I still have many things to attend to. Oblivious to her rage, he waves and prepares to take his leave. Wait, I'm not done yet. Suppressing her anger, Shen Bai Ru calms down her breathing and looks at him with her beautiful eyes. You might have resolved that difficulty in my stead today and your occupation as a gourmet played a huge role in it, but, in the end, it is still an unorthodox occupation. After all, a fighter should focus on his training. Fighters, upon cultivating to a certain realm, are able to survive without ingesting food, so delicacies do not have much use. Even if he is able to profit out of the occupation for now, it still isn't a proper path a fighter should be treading on. After interacting with him, she could tell that Zhang Xuan isn't as useless as the rumors make him out to be. It could be possible that he had devoted his efforts to studying food, that's why his teacher qualification examination results ended up horrendous. Upon such thoughts, despite her overwhelming anger, she couldn't resist advising him. All right. Knowing that she said those words out of goodwill, Zhang Xuan nods his head. Just as he is about to leave, rapid footsteps sound out from his back. Zhang Xuan, let's see where you can escape to today. Today, don't even dream about getting away. Following which, a resentful voice echoes in the surroundings. 2 men and 1 beast block his path. They are Shang Bin and Chao Shang. At this moment, the 2 of them have a giant footprint imprinted on their face, the outlines of it clear to see. Half of their face are swollen red and blood trickles down by edges of their mouth. Not a single hint of their previous dashing and carefree look remain. This is especially so for Shang Bin. His injuries from the morning have yet to recover and yet, he suffered another violent kick. At this instant, his mouth is crooked to the side and his lips look like 2 giant sausages, thus pulling him further away from the concept of handsomeness. He had planned everything out perfectly so as to look cool in front of his goddess. Who knew that not only would he fail, He even got beaten up to such a state, and his connection with Haotian Pavilion was severed as a result. If things go wrong, he might even be chastised by his grandfather. How could he take this humiliation lying? The more he thinks about it, the angrier he gets. Thus, he charges up directly towards Zhang Xuan. Shang Bin, what do you intend to do? Shen Bairu didn't expect him to come in pursuit to cause trouble. She steps in front of Zhang Xuan to shield him from Shang Bin. Teacher Shen, don't block my way. This is a personal grudge between Zhang Xuan and me. It is one thing if he doesn't see her, but when he sees her shielding the infamous trash of the academy, Shang Bin is further provoked as his eyes slant to the sides and his mouth crooks further from the overwhelming rage. The intense envy clouding his mind makes him frenzied. He stares coldly at that young man and shouts, Zhang Xuan, are you a man? If you're one, stop hiding behind a woman and have a fair duel to the death with me. Seeing how the fellow before him has lost his rationality, Zhang Xuan widens his eyes and says, so what if I'm hiding behind a woman? This is a part of my capabilities. If you're capable, find one to hide behind as well. You. Shang Bin almost vomits blood. As long as it is a man, if someone insults him by saying that he is gutless and hides behind the protection of a woman, won't they feel embarrassed and humiliated such that they would rush forward to retaliate out of indignation? Why does common sense not apply to this fellow? How can he speak of something that should have been incomparably shameful so naturally and righteously? Asterisk, how can one be so thick-skinned? Teacher Shen, I'll be leaving these two for you to deal with. I still have something on, so I'll be taking my leave first. As a transcender, what has he never seen before? Thick-skinned. What a joke. In his previous life, in the information era, have you seen anyone who isn't shameless? He can't be bothered to deal with a problem which someone had taken the initiative to resolve for him. This isn't fear. Rather, it isn't a good time for him to be revealing his level of cultivation. On top of that, the Shang Bin's grandfather is an elder. If he were to be forced to a corner, Zhang Xuan would have to waste precious time dealing with the problems that will ensue. Since someone is shielding him, he is also happy to be spared the effort. Quote. Seeing how shameless the young man is, Shen Bairu is also at a loss for words. Just a moment ago, she was still fearful that he would be provoked by Shang Bin's taunt and duel with him. Now, it does seem that she was overthinking it. If this fellow could be provoked, even sows would be able to climb trees. Zhang Xuan, hold it there. If I can't kill you today, I won't be called Shang Bin. Seeing the attitude of the young man, Shang Bin becomes even more enraged. Veins pop out from his temples and his face turns a shade of green. Seeing that Shen Bairu has no intention of letting him through, he roars, sky-shattering lion, kill him. As long as you do it, I will bring you delicacies every day. Furthermore, I will give you the acupoint soothing pill that my grandfather promised me. As a tier 6 savage beast that has been tamed by a human, the sky-shattering lion is capable of comprehending human words. As his grandfather's pet, as long as Shang Bin is kept out of harm's way, it couldn't be bothered with his orders. In order to get it to make a move, he promised all kinds of benefits to him in an instant. Roar. Indeed, hearing his promises, the eyes of the sky-shattering lion light up. Savage beasts who have reached Pishui realm, unlike humans, are unable to use the flow of junqi to break open their acupoints. They can only rely on the growth of their body to gradually pull up their strength. If it were to consume the acupoint soothing pill at this moment, with its effects, its strength would surely soar significantly. Acupoint soothing pill is a pill made specially for Fighter 6 Dan experts. It possesses the effect of soothing one's acupoints, thus allowing one to progress further in Pishui realm. At this moment, Shang Bin's strength has already reached Fighter 5 Dan Dingli pinnacle, just a step off from Pishui. Thus, Elder Shang Chen spent a huge sum to obtain this medicine so as to give him a boost. Initially, Shang Bin was reluctant to take it out. However, upon recalling how he was humiliated by a trash, he finds himself unable to suppress his emotions. If he doesn't get rid of Zhang Xuan today, he fears that he would be unable to uphold his dignity in the academy anymore. This is especially so for the goddess before him, she probably wouldn't even spare him a gaze. How can he tolerate such a situation? Shang Bin, what do you intend to do? Killing a colleague in academy compounds is a huge crime. She didn't expect Shang Bin to be so insane to order the sky-shattering lion to make a move. Shen Bairu's eyes narrow. She wants to rush forward to protect Zhang Xuan, but is blocked by Shang Bin instead. Panicking, she bellows at him. In the compounds, teachers are forbidden from killing one another. To do so is an infringement of the school rules, as well as a severe crime. Zhang Xuan was the one who wanted to kill me. To protect me, the sky-shattering lion retaliated. What I did was legitimate self-defense. What can the others say about it? Shang Bin's eyes turn red from insanity. He roars, "Sky-shattering lion, what are you hesitating for? Do it. You." Shen Bairu feels her heart turning cold. Too shameless. If he were to really use that as a front, with Elder Shang Chen's interference within the matter, he might really get away with it. In fact, it is possible for him to escape punishment completely. Zhang Xuan could very well die here. After all, it is a tier 6 savage beast. Ordinary Pishui realm experts aren't even its match. How can one who is the last in the teacher qualification examination withstand it? Roar. Just when she is still in a fluster, the sky-shattering lion roars and dashes over. Before coming into contact with it, its powerful aura creates a powerful gale that forces the surrounding grass and tree leaves to bow down to it. 9 paths, also known as 3 teachings and 9 paths. This is a real terminology used to classify jobs in ancient China. To put it simply, there are upper 9 paths, middle 9 paths and lower 9 paths in ancient China, and each of these paths refer to an occupation. For example, the top occupations in ancient China, the 9 occupations listed in the upper 9 paths are Emperor, Saints, Secluded Masters, Oracle, Scholar, Warrior, Farmer, Worker, Merchant, and they are classified from most esteemed less than to least esteemed. Similarly, the middle 9 paths and lower 9 paths have their own set of occupations as well. The 3 teachings refer to Confucianism, Taoism or Taoism, and Buddhism. Do note that there are different interpretations, versions to the 9 paths, and most of them list Buddha as the first one. If you find any errors, please let us know in the comments below so we can fix it as soon as possible. Also, like and subscribe to our channel to get notified of the latest chapter release.